Years back, I couldn't stop wrestling with something that haunted me. How is it that certain people merely conceive of a desire and watch it materialize in their world, while countless others spend decades hoping, praying, visualizing, and absolutely nothing shifts? Then I stumbled onto a discovery that rewired everything I thought I knew. Between the moment a thought emerges in your awareness and the instant reality begins its reorganization, there exists a threshold, a fracture in time so brief most people live their entire lives without ever knowing it's there. It's inside this invisible gap that transformation occurs. But the access code to this space remains hidden from most. What you're about to discover is the true mechanism behind what happens when you think, when you feel, when you desire, and why certain individuals seem to manifest instantaneously while others remain stuck in perpetual waiting. So let's begin with something you've probably never questioned. What actually occurs in the precise instant your eyes land on something? Feels straightforward, doesn't it? Light enters through your pupils, strikes the retina, gets processed by neural networks, and there it is, you perceive. Clean, mechanical, simple. Except nothing about this is simple, because when you step into the quantum realm, the rules dissolve into something far stranger. There exists a fundamental principle known as the observer effect, and what it reveals is this. Subatomic particles have no fixed location until the moment they're witnessed. They float in a probability cloud, existing as pure potential in multiple states simultaneously, and only when observation occurs, boom, they lock into one specific state. This isn't mystical philosophy dressed up as science. This is verified, tested, documented physics. The Copenhagen interpretation, which has stood as the dominant framework for understanding quantum mechanics since the 1920s, states this explicitly. An electron doesn't occupy position A or position B. It occupies both positions at once, in superposition, until measurement forces it to choose. Consider this metaphor. Picture a coin spinning through the air. While it rotates, it embodies neither heads nor tails. It exists as both outcomes simultaneously, held in quantum suspension. Only when it lands and you witness the result does reality select one possibility. In the quantum dimension, that coin literally maintains both states until observation collapses it. Here's where it becomes fascinating. For over a century, physicists have argued about what observation actually means at the fundamental level. One camp insists it's purely mechanical interaction, that you need measurement apparatus, detection equipment, physical instruments engaging with particles. Human awareness plays no role whatsoever. But another group of physicists isn't convinced, and for good reason, because something profoundly strange occurs in these experiments. When you position a detector to track which pathway a particle travels, it manifests particle-like behavior. Remove that detector, and it immediately reverts to wave-like behavior. It's as though the particle possesses awareness of being watched and modifies its nature accordingly. This surfaces a deeply uncomfortable question. What qualifies as observation? A mechanical sensor, a recording device, a biological eye, consciousness itself? In truth, nobody possesses a definitive answer. I'm not going to claim I've solved what the greatest minds in physics still debate. But here's what I've come to understand. Quantum mechanics has demonstrated beyond any reasonable doubt that the act of observation fundamentally alters what is being observed. That's established fact. Whether human consciousness specifically wields this power at the macro level of everyday experience, that remains an open question. But even if consciousness doesn't literally collapse wave functions in the strict quantum physics sense, it undeniably shapes reality through other measurable pathways. Your thought patterns directly modify your neurochemistry. Your emotional states trigger hormonal cascades throughout your body. Your focus determines which aspects of reality you register and which you filter out completely. If you begin your day absolutely certain it will unfold terribly, your neural networks will actively filter incoming information to validate that belief. You'll register every minor frustration, every setback, every disappointment, while completely overlooking positive experiences happening simultaneously. This isn't quantum mechanics at work, it's fundamental psychology. But the lived outcome? You genuinely experience a difficult day. Your internal observation literally sculpted your experiential reality. So perhaps the real question isn't whether you collapse wave functions like a laboratory physicist measuring electron spin. Perhaps it's this. Does your consciousness, your directed attention, your intentional focus possess genuine power to shape what you experience as reality? And when you frame the question that way, the answer becomes far more compelling. Einstein despised this entire framework. He devoted the final years of his life attempting to disprove it. He labeled it spooky action at a distance and published passionate papers arguing it violated fundamental laws of nature. But reality disagreed with Einstein on this one. Quantum entanglement functions like this. You cause two particles to interact in a precise manner. From that interaction forward, they become unified at a level that transcends space. You can separate them by millimeters, by continents, by the distance between galaxies. When you influence one particle, the other responds in the same instant. Not almost instantly, actually instantaneously. This isn't a signal propagating at light speed. This isn't information being transmitted through space-time. This is something far more mysterious. It's as if these two particles remain a single unified entity that happens to be distributed across space. And here's what makes this extraordinary. In 2022, 3 physicists received the Nobel Prize for experimentally demonstrating this phenomenon is absolutely real. Alain Aspect was among them. This researcher spent literal decades designing increasingly sophisticated experiments, systematically eliminating every possible loophole, removing all alternative explanations. And the verdict? Quantum entanglement is a verified fact of nature. Entangled particles maintain knowledge of each other's state across distances that should make this impossible. Alter one, and the other transforms simultaneously. Zero delay. No signal crossing the void between them. Now here's where spiritual seekers get genuinely excited. Because if two particles can maintain instant connection across the cosmos, what does this imply about the universe as a whole? What does this mean for your existence? Consider the implications. During the Big Bang, everything that exists emerged from a singular point. All matter, all energy, every particle in the cosmos was unified, entangled in the same location. Then expansion occurred. Galaxies scattered outward. Solar systems coalesced. You emerged into form. But at the deepest level of reality, it all originated from the same unified source. Everything was once interconnected. Does that connection still exist beneath the appearance of separation? Mystics across every tradition speak of unity consciousness, of the fundamental oneness underlying all apparent multiplicity. The Hindu Vedas describe Brahman, the singular reality existing behind the veil of phenomena. Buddhist philosophy teaches interdependent arising, how nothing possesses independent existence. Shamanic traditions speak of the invisible web connecting all life forms. They articulated this understanding millennia ago. No laboratories, no particle colliders, just profound observation of reality's nature through expanded states of awareness. And now contemporary physics arrives at the table saying, wait, there's genuinely something here. Particles demonstrably maintain connections that violate our conventional understanding of space and separation. But here's the limitation you need to understand. Quantum entanglement doesn't function the way most people hope it does. You cannot harness it to transmit instant communications. You cannot manipulate one particle here and force its entangled partner to do your bidding across the galaxy. The phenomenon exists, but it doesn't actually violate Einstein's relativity. Information still cannot exceed light speed. It's far more nuanced. Imagine possessing two connected coins. You flip yours here, your friend flips theirs in Tokyo. When yours shows heads, theirs invariably shows tails. Every single time, instantaneously. But neither person controlled the outcome. You simply discovered you were correlated. I understand that feels frustrating, because it seems tantalizingly close to proving telepathy, psychic connection, all of it. But it doesn't work that way directly. However, and this matters tremendously, the mere fact that non-local instantaneous connection exists in nature changes everything. It transforms how we conceive of separation. It rewrites our understanding of distance. It fundamentally alters the architecture of what we call real. Before entanglement received experimental confirmation, physics operated on the assumption that spatially separated things were independent entities, that the cosmos consisted of distinct, autonomous pieces, each following their own trajectory. Now we know that model is incomplete. Things can maintain profound connection through means that don't involve signals, forces, or anything traveling between them. They simply are one thing, despite appearing as two. And if this holds true for electrons and photons, what other connections might exist beyond our perceptual range? If this is resonating with something deep inside you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. You'll stay connected to this frequency. Your physical body contains trillions of particles that were once entangled with particles now existing elsewhere in the universe. That stranger you encounter on the sidewalk? You're both composed of atoms forged in stellar furnaces that detonated billions of years ago, quite possibly the same star. Is there a dimension of reality where separation between you and me is merely an illusion of perception? Your brain is transforming right now, in this exact moment as you absorb these words. Every thought flowing through your neural networks, every emotion washing through your system, every element that captures your attention is physically restructuring your brain's architecture, forging new synaptic connections, amplifying some pathways, diminishing others, literally altering the material density inside your cranium. This phenomenon is called neuroplasticity, and it represents perhaps the most tangible bridge between consciousness and physical reality that exists. Let me share research that eliminates any doubt. Studies employing functional MRI technology demonstrate that when you mentally rehearse a physical movement, like fingering through a violin piece, the identical motor cortex regions activate as if you were physically performing that action. Not similar activation, identical activation patterns. Your brain cannot distinguish between vivid mental experience and actual physical experience. Research examining Buddhist monks who've maintained meditation practices for decades reveals permanent structural brain changes. The anterior insula, a region governing self-awareness and empathy, demonstrates significantly increased density. The prefrontal cortex, which manages focus and emotional regulation, contains measurably more gray matter. The hippocampus, your memory processing center, is demonstrably larger. They sustained different thought patterns long enough that the organ itself physically reorganized. What this means practically is profound. You are not imprisoned by the neural architecture you inherited at birth. That limiting narrative of, "This is simply who I am, I cannot transform," that's fiction. Your brain possesses clay-like malleability, and the sculpting instrument is your attention. Here's compelling evidence. Research on London taxi drivers who must internalize over 25,000 street locations shows their posterior hippocampus grows physically larger. More neurons, denser connections, increased matter. And when they retire and cease intensive use of that capacity, it begins shrinking again. Literally, use it or lose it at the neurological level. I find this simultaneously terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because it means if you immerse yourself in anxiety all day, cycling through negative thought loops, engaging in harsh self-criticism, you're physically constructing neural superhighways for anxious responses. You're sculpting a brain that becomes increasingly proficient at worry. But it's liberating because the mechanism operates in both directions. Consider this. If 8 weeks of consistent mindfulness practice can measurably increase gray matter density in brain regions governing memory, empathy, and emotional regulation, then you possess genuine control. Real, measurable, documented control. This provides the mechanical explanation for how contemplative practices fundamentally change your identity. It's not just raising your vibration in some abstract metaphysical sense. It's you, through sustained intentional focus, physically constructing a different brain. A brain that processes stress differently, that perceives opportunities where it previously saw obstacles, that maintains attention rather than fragmenting into distraction. But here's the critical detail most people miss. This requires time investment. It's not instantaneous in the sense of thinking once and manifesting immediately. It demands repetition, consistency, sustained practice. You must fire identical neural patterns repeatedly for them to embed structurally. Every thought is like someone traversing a forest. The first passage leaves minimal trace. But walk that same route repeatedly, and you begin forming a trail. The trail becomes a pathway. The pathway becomes a highway. Your brain operates identically. Repetition creates myelin sheaths, which are literally insulating layers wrapping around axon fibers that accelerate neural signal transmission. Thoughts you repeat become faster, more automatic, more integrated into your identity. So when spiritual teachers discuss cultivating mental states, this isn't poetic metaphor. It's a neurological remodeling protocol. Cultivate gratitude, you're strengthening positivity circuits. Cultivate fear, you're amplifying your amygdala's threat detection sensitivity. And look where this takes us. If consistent thought changes brain structure, and brain structure determines how you perceive and respond to the world, then ultimately your thoughts are creating the reality you experience. Not directly, not magically, but through the remodeling of the organ that processes your reality. I've seen people say that neuroplasticity proves the law of attraction. It doesn't, but it proves something equally powerful. You're not stuck. You can literally rebuild yourself from the inside out, thought by thought, day by day. Now, what we're exploring today only touches the surface of how this actually works at the frequency level. Because neuroplasticity is one layer, but there are 9 master frequencies that determine whether you're broadcasting from survival static or conscious creation. If you're ready to understand the complete system, how these frequencies interact, and the step-by-step practices to shift from seeking to being, I've laid it all out in Beyond the Frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness mastery. It's linked in the pinned comment below. Now, the brain isn't alone in this. There's another organ that most people don't even consider when thinking about consciousness and reality. But maybe they should, because it's transmitting information outside of you all the time. We grow up thinking the heart is just a pump, a muscle that pushes blood. Important, sure, but basically mechanical. The brain commands, the heart obeys. But that's not exactly how it works. Your heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in your body. Like it's not even close. It produces an electrical field 60 times greater in amplitude than the field generated by the brain. And the magnetic field 5,000 times stronger, 5,000. This isn't mystical speculation. It's measured with magnetometers, standard scientific instrumentation. And this field extends beyond your physical body. Depending on your emotional state, it can radiate anywhere from 1 to 3 meters around you. You are literally a mobile electromagnetic broadcaster. When someone enters your proximity and you sense heavy or light energy, perhaps you're detecting actual electromagnetic information. Your heart contains receptors that sense external magnetic fields. It's not a mystical sixth sense. It's an electromagnetic sensory system. Your heart's rhythm transforms dramatically based on your emotional state. When you experience anxiety, frustration, anger, your heartbeat pattern becomes chaotic, erratic, disorganized. When you feel gratitude, appreciation, love, the pattern becomes coherent, smooth, organized. This is termed heart coherence, and the effect isn't limited to the heart itself. A coherent emotional state reorganizes your entire physiological system within minutes. But there's more. This coherent or chaotic electromagnetic field you're generating, other people receive it. Experiments have placed 2 individuals in shared environments, measured their electromagnetic signatures, and documented synchronization occurring. One person's field influencing the others. Particularly when genuine emotional connection exists, the fields begin pulsing in harmony. Suddenly you understand why certain people deplete you while others energize you. Research demonstrates that when you physically touch someone, your heart's electromagnetic field becomes detectable in their brainwave patterns. Your heart communicating directly with their brain. No words, no conscious intent, merely physical proximity and emotional openness. This explains profound mysteries. Why authentic embraces create calm. Why genuine presence facilitates healing. Why you sometimes sense deception even when someone's words sound convincing, because the energetic field doesn't align with their speech. Your body reads information your conscious mind never registers. Functionally, the heart operates as both emotional processor and information transmitter. It doesn't merely respond to what you feel. It broadcasts that state into your surrounding environment and receives what other hearts are transmitting. You've heard the saying that people can only express what exists inside them. That's precisely this mechanism. A wounded or troubled heart can only externalize what it identifies with internally. Take a moment and comment below. What frequency is your heart broadcasting right now? Just one word that captures the energy you're transmitting in this moment. This completely reframes human interaction, because communication isn't just verbal exchange or body language anymore. There's an electromagnetic communication layer operating constantly beneath conscious awareness, and you possess some degree of control over it. Not total, not absolute, but genuine influence. If you spend entire days saturated in irritation, anxiety, chronic fear, your heart transmits that chaotic field inward, affecting your organs, your brain, your physical health. Outward, affecting people in your proximity, generating a turbulent field around you. But if you intentionally create pauses to establish coherence, focusing on regenerative emotional states, you're not just performing a wellness ritual. You're literally altering the physics of your field. And this creates ripple effects. Experiments show when one person enters heart coherence, nearby infants, animals, even plants demonstrate measurable responses. The coherent field appears to exert an organizing influence on surrounding biological systems. So when mystics discuss energy, vibration, cleansing your aura, perhaps they're describing in symbolic language something with genuine physical foundation. Your emotional, electromagnetic signature. Ask yourself this: what frequency is your heart broadcasting right now? Now I want to introduce something that absolutely infuriates the pharmaceutical industry, because it represents the greatest obstacle to any new medication. And simultaneously, it provides the strongest evidence that your consciousness can radically transform your biology. The placebo effect. You've encountered this concept. Someone takes a sugar pill believing it's actual medicine, and they heal. Sounds simplistic, even ridiculous, like psychological self-deception. But it's neither simple nor deceptive. The placebo effect generates real, measurable biochemical transformations in the body. It's not all in your head in the sense of imagination. It's all in your head in the sense that your consciousness is literally restructuring your body chemistry. Let me share research that demolishes skepticism. Studies involving sham knee surgeries took patients suffering severe osteoarthritis and divided them into groups. Some received actual surgical intervention. Others were anesthetized. Surgeons created incisions and sutured them closed, but performed no internal procedure whatsoever. Complete theatrical surgery. The outcome? Both groups showed identical improvement. Pain reduction, mobility enhancement, procedure, satisfaction, completely equivalent. Contemplate how extraordinary that is. The person's belief that they received surgical repair was so powerful that their body responded as if actual repair occurred. Tissue regeneration, inflammation reduction, everything. There's more. Studies with Parkinson's patients demonstrate that when they consume a placebo believing it's actual medication, their brains synthesize dopamine. Real dopamine. The exact neurotransmitter they're deficient in, that Parkinson's medications attempt to replace. The brain produces it autonomously purely from expectation. That's neurobiology responding to belief. Research involving post-surgical pain management gave patients morphine initially. It worked as expected. Then researchers secretly reduced dosages, substituting saline solution while informing patients it remained morphine. Pain stayed controlled. The body released endogenous endorphins, your natural opioid system, triggered by expectation. When patients learned it was placebo, pain returned. Belief functioned as an on-off switch for the body's natural analgesic systems. The placebo effect isn't psychological weakness. It's your body's healing architecture being activated by expectation and contextual cues, like a recovery program that requires a password to execute. The password is belief, and it operates more powerfully depending on presentation. Larger pills generate stronger placebo responses than smaller ones. Injections outperform pills. Surgical procedures outperform injections. The more invasive and ritualized the intervention, the stronger the response. I've observed people weaponize this to dismiss alternative medicine. Oh, acupuncture is merely placebo. But pause for a moment. If acupuncture triggers the placebo effect, and the placebo effect generates real biochemical healing, then did healing occur or not? Did pain disappear or not? Did inflammation reduce or not? Placebo isn't fake. It's an authentic self-healing mechanism we don't fully comprehend yet. Practically, this means your body possesses extraordinary regenerative capacities lying dormant until activated by appropriate expectation. You can literally activate internal healing systems through belief. Studies reveal that up to 30 or 40% of depression patients respond to placebos just as effectively as to actual antidepressant medications. The brain adjusts serotonin levels, reorganizes neural circuits, all based purely on improvement expectation. Think about the implications. If expectation alone achieves that, what occurs when you intentionally cultivate positive expectations about your life? Not naive denial where you pretend problems don't exist, but genuine belief that your body and mind possess capacity to reorganize and improve. You're not engaging in self-deception. You're activating real biological protocols, and the inverse operates too. Nocebo represents placebo's dark mirror. When you expect negative effects, your body manifests them. There are documented cases of people overdosing on sugar pills in clinical trials, unaware they were placebos. They arrived at hospitals with genuine overdose symptoms: lowered blood pressure, vertigo, nausea. Everything reversed once they learned it was merely sugar. The expectation of harm generated actual harm. But there's a story illustrating belief's absolute power in a way that still sends chills through me. A man was dying, literally deteriorating. Losing weight, organs failing, condition rapidly worsening. Doctors couldn't identify any physical pathology. Medical tests showed no terminal disease, yet his body was systematically shutting down. Then they discovered he believed someone had cursed him. A spell had been cast, and he maintained absolute conviction he would die because of it. The belief ran so deep, his body was executing the prophecy. The attending physician had a brilliant intervention. He informed the patient he'd located the person who cast the curse, that he'd spoken with them directly, and after extensive negotiation, convinced them to remove it. The doctor described this entirely fictional conversation in elaborate detail, explained the person agreed to undo the curse, and everything was now resolved. There was no conversation. There was no curse. None of it existed. But within days, the man began recovering. Appetite returned. Organs stabilized. Strength rebuilt. He completely healed. The identical mind that was terminating him healed him. It simply required the appropriate narrative to deactivate the death sequence and activate the healing sequence. That demonstrates belief's simultaneously terrifying and liberating power. The mind can execute a self-destruction program or a regeneration program depending entirely on the story you believe you're inhabiting. So when you saturate your days expecting worst-case scenarios, convinced everything will fail, obsessing over symptoms, mentally rehearsing catastrophes, you might be unknowingly triggering a nocebo response. Your body responding to your internal narrative as if it were external physical reality. This isn't victim blaming. It's not claiming illness is a choice. It's recognizing that expectation and mental framing exert genuine biological impact that can either support or undermine any treatment protocol. We habitually assume causation flows in one direction only. You activate the switch, light appears. You plant the seed, growth follows. The past generates the future. That's how the universe operates, correct? Except quantum physics has uncovered something that shouldn't exist. There's an experimental design called the delayed choice experiment. John Wheeler, among the most brilliant physicists of the 20th century, proposed it. The fundamental concept: you make a measurement decision after the particle has already traversed the experimental apparatus. The event has already occurred, but your future choice about how to observe it retroactively modifies what the particle did in the past. Essentially, your present decision alters the particle's past behavior. This has been tested repeatedly in laboratories globally. The particle genuinely does manifest different past behavior depending on what you choose to measure in the future. It's as though the future reaches backward to influence the past. Now, before you imagine you can time travel to undo that regrettable text you sent, hold on. This operates on quantum scales with individual particles under extraordinarily controlled conditions. It doesn't mean you can retroactively modify personal history. But it does mean time doesn't function the way we've assumed. And there's more. There's a research domain called presentiment, demonstrating something equally unsettling. Your body reacts to future events before they occur. Dean Radin, a researcher at the Institute of Noetic Sciences, has conducted hundreds of experiments documenting this. The protocol works like this. A person sits before a screen. Electrodes monitor skin conductance, heart rate, pupil dilation. Every few seconds, an image appears. Sometimes neutral, like furniture. Sometimes emotionally intense, like graphic violence. The computer selects randomly. Even the researcher doesn't know which image will appear. Here's where it becomes fascinating. The sensors demonstrate the person's body reacts 3 to 5 seconds before the image appears, specifically before emotionally charged ones. Heart rate elevates, skin perspires, pupils dilate before the stimulus exists. How does the body know what's coming before the computer has even randomly selected it? That violates basic causality. Yet the data exists, replicated across multiple laboratories. Consider the implications. If your body can detect future events, even subconsciously, then the boundary between past, present, and future isn't as rigid as consensus reality suggests. Some form of information flows backward through time, or perhaps future and past are merely constructs that make sense to conscious experience, but don't reflect fundamental reality. This would explain profound mysteries. It would explain intuition. That inexplicable feeling that something's about to happen. The hunch. The vague premonition you cannot articulate but sense bodily. Research shows high-performing financial traders demonstrate stronger precognitive physiological responses. Before markets crash, their bodies already possess knowledge. They follow the instinct, exit positions early, avoid catastrophic loss. This transforms how we conceptualize decision-making. When you experience a powerful feeling about something, a visceral hunch contradicting logic, perhaps it's not merely irrational emotion. Perhaps it's temporal information being processed at non-conscious levels. Now the profound question: if the future can influence the present, does that mean the future already exists? That everything is predetermined, fixed, inevitable? Not necessarily. It could be that multiple probable futures exist simultaneously as quantum potentials, and your body detects probability patterns, not fixed outcomes. You're not perceiving the future. You're sensing possible futures and their relative likelihoods. That preserves space for free will, for choice, for trajectory alteration. I won't claim to fully comprehend the mechanics. Nobody does. Physicists have debated this for decades without consensus. But delayed choice experiments are documented reality. Physiological presentiment measurements are verified. Something profoundly strange is occurring with time's nature. And when you bring this into spiritual territory, it becomes even more compelling, because ancient mystical practices operate precisely with this understanding. Visualizing a desired future not as fantasy, but as creating temporal gravitational attraction. You imagine a specific future with emotional intensity, and somehow that future version begins, exerting pull on the present, drawing it in that direction. It's not magic. It might be temporal physics, just not the version we understand yet. Neville Goddard, one of the 20th century's manifestation pioneers, taught a technique called revision, where you mentally rewrite events from your day before sleep. He claimed this not only transforms how you process experiences emotionally, but can actually alter the future consequences emerging from those events. Quantum physics demonstrates your consciousness influences reality, but intellectual knowledge changes nothing. You must train your consciousness to wield this consciously. That's why in the Quantum Thinking Challenge, we offer 21 days of specific practices that transform theoretical understanding into lived power. Here you're studying, learning. In the challenge, you embody and practice. Access is in the first pinned comment. For decades, physicists assumed quantum effects only manifested in ultra-cooled laboratory environments. Like you need temperatures approaching absolute zero, perfect vacuum, complete isolation. Because in the real world, with heat, movement, molecular chaos, quantum effects supposedly vanish instantly. That's why nobody imagined biology could be quantum. Your body is warm, wet, turbulent, saturated with thermal motion. The absolute worst environment for quantum phenomena. Except that assumption was wrong. In 2007, scientists discovered something mind-altering while studying photosynthesis. You know, the process plants employ to transform sunlight into chemical energy. But when they measured it precisely, they witnessed quantum behavior. Quantum coherence occurring at room temperature inside living cells. The electron didn't select one pathway. It explored all pathways simultaneously and selected the most efficient route. It's like the plant is employing quantum computation to optimize energy capture. This shouldn't be physically possible, yet it is. Billions of plants execute this daily and have for millions of years. And there's more. Migratory birds navigate using Earth's magnetic field. Everyone knew that basic fact. But how precisely do they detect that field? Researchers discovered a protein in their retinas called cryptochrome. When blue wavelength light strikes this protein, it generates a pair of quantum-entangled electrons. We explore this in detail in the video on Edgar Cayce's shocking discovery about birds and what they truly perceive. I'll place it in the description for you to explore later. Nature engineered methods to harness quantum effects in hot, wet, noisy environments. It evolved protective mechanisms to sustain quantum coherence long enough to extract practical utility from it. There's an enormous philosophical implication here. If you are fundamentally a quantum system, then you exist in superposition until observed. Multiple versions of you, multiple possible states collapsing into specific reality through environmental interaction. That means you are not a fixed entity. You are a field of potentials, and each moment of observation, each measurement, each interaction collapses you into a specific manifestation. Which version manifests depends on the observer, on context, and on intention. Mystics have articulated this eternally, that you possess no fixed nature, that reality is fluid, that observation and intention shape what materializes. Now, quantum biology is beginning to reveal possible mechanisms for how this might operate. Because if plants harness quantum superposition to absorb light with extraordinary efficiency, if birds employ entanglement to navigate continents, who's to say you aren't utilizing quantum properties for capacities we haven't even conceived yet? Your body is stranger, more sophisticated, more interwoven with reality's fundamental fabric than anyone imagined possible 2 decades ago. Let's discuss one of the most fascinating concepts for the inquiring mind: the many worlds, interpretation. The core idea is elegant. Every time a quantum particle selects one state over another, the universe divides. Both possibilities occur, just in different parallel realities. This is a legitimate interpretation of quantum mechanics proposed by Hugh Everett in 1957. Here's the mechanism. Remember when we discussed superposition, a particle being multiple things simultaneously? In the Copenhagen interpretation, when you observe, the wave collapses and one possibility becomes actual. But in the many worlds interpretation, nothing collapses. All possibilities continue existing. You simply follow one branch of reality's tree. Other versions of you follow other branches. Right now, countless versions of you exist in parallel universes, making marginally different choices. I know this might sound absurd initially, but serious physicists working at the world's most prestigious institutions believe this represents the most elegant and economical explanation of quantum mechanics. Why? Because it eliminates the observation problem. There's no need to explain how or why waves collapse. They don't collapse. Everything happens. You simply experience one pathway. Now let me connect this with something everyone studying manifestation has encountered. All possibilities already exist. You merely need to align with the correct frequency. That always seemed like beautiful metaphor. But what if it's literal? What if there genuinely exists a field of possibilities where all versions of your life coexist? Where you are simultaneously wealthy and impoverished, healthy and ill, fulfilled and frustrated, all at once in different reality branches. The point then isn't creating something from nothing. It's selecting which branch you're going to follow. Imagine every decision you make represents a branching point. The universe dividing and your consciousness, your observation determines which branch you experience as real. You're not creating reality. You're navigating between realities that already exist as potentials. That could mean the version of you that you aspire to become already exists in one of those branches. The life you desire is already being lived by another version of you in another timeline. The work isn't manifestation from void. It's aligning your frequency, your choices, your internal state with the branch where that reality exists. But how? Every choice you make, regardless of how minor, represents a quantum decision point. Rising early or delaying, eating nourishing food or not, making that important call or postponing it. Each choice directs you to a marginally different branch, and those small differences, compounded across days, months, years, generate radically divergent timelines. The version of you inhabiting the life you desire made a different series of small choices that transported them there. And every present moment offers opportunity to make choices aligning you with that branch. In quantum physics, outcome probabilities aren't equal. Some states possess greater probability amplitudes. They're more likely to manifest. Others are possible but improbable. So when you discuss manifesting something completely outside your current life pattern, you're attempting to jump to a low probability branch. Is it possible? Technically, yes. Is it likely? Not particularly. But when you initiate consistent small changes that increase that reality's probability amplitude, you're essentially thickening that branch, making it more accessible, more likely to collapse into your experience. I find that liberating because it removes pressure to think perfectly constantly. It's not about flawless visualization or never experiencing negative thoughts. It's about the overall trajectory of your choices. Are you moving toward the branch you desire or away from it? It's quite logical, actually. If you rise daily at first alarm, dress, and exercise, in 5 years you'll possess an exceptional physique, or at minimum be significantly stronger and healthier. But if you rise daily hitting snooze, sleeping excessively, skipping exercise, in 5 years you'll be worse, or at best precisely the same. Nothing transforms, and both possibilities exist. They already are. You simply must decide which becomes yours. In other words, if all possible outcomes already exist, then failure isn't permanent. It's simply you exploring one branch. You can always make a different choice and shift to another branch. There's no such concept as too late. There's no such state as, I've already destroyed everything. Every moment represents a new branching point with infinite possibilities opening. Drop a comment below. What's one choice you're making today that aligns you with the timeline you actually want? Share it. When you declare it, you're signaling to the field which branch you're choosing. Practically, this means your past doesn't define you. It defines the branch you were following. The version of you who transcended that obstacle already exists. You simply need to make the choices that version would make. So we've reached the conclusion of this profound exploration of how consciousness and reality intersect. And yes, I recognize it's substantial information, but truthfully, we've only touched the surface. Because there's one puzzle piece I deliberately withheld, a piece that completely transforms how all of this operates practically. In the next video, I'm going to reveal exactly how the mechanism functions. I'll provide the protocol, the research, the techniques people are employing to literally attune themselves to the quantum field through intentional emotional regulation. If this video shifted something in you, consider watching it again tomorrow morning. Let these concepts reprogram your subconscious while you sleep, then reinforce them at dawn. And if someone in your life is ready for this understanding, share it with them. When you transmit quantum consciousness concepts, you're not just helping them, you're amplifying your own frequency. You're creating an energetic ripple that accelerates both your manifestations. The act of sharing reinforces the neural pathways we discussed, deepens your embodiment of these principles, and signals to the field that you're ready to operate at this level. You can comprehend all the theory. You can master every concept about quantum physics and neuroplasticity. But if you don't develop mastery over your emotional states, it's like possessing the vault combination and never entering it. Everything exists there waiting. It simply won't open. Now here's what becomes critical once you understand these quantum principles. Most people think needing something brings it closer. But quantum mechanics reveals the opposite truth. The moment you release the desperate need for something, you collapse the wave function that allows it to manifest. I explore this paradox in depth in the video When you stop needing, you start to attract. You'll discover why detachment is the ultimate manifestation technology, how desire without desperation creates magnetic pull, and the specific energetic shift that transforms you from chasing reality to allowing it to reorganize around you. That video is on screen now.